Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director, David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, we discuss development and some of your commonly asked questions. What can you build on your property? How do you start the process? We'll answer those questions and much more. Joining us to discuss this is our Ward 5 City Councilwoman, Shondra Summers-Armstrong. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, David. How are you?
Happy spring.
Yes, happy spring, indeed.
We got a really good show. You're very high on development coming into Ward 5, redevelopment, dollars being invested in Ward 5. And we're going to talk about how people can be a part of all that in just a minute or two. You know Ward 5 really well. It's your stomping ground and the area you represent. For those of you out there not exactly sure where Ward 5 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you on the map as we always do. It's a great ward because it encompasses our downtown area there to the east, but then goes all the way out to the northwest. So you got a little bit of everything in between there too. So pretty cool.
It is awesome. We have a wide range of locales, and we are really interested in encouraging people to use infill property to do development. And there's lots of opportunity for that.
Yes, there is.
And we are excited to share information with folks to help them understand how they get started and what the right way is to do things, so that we don't have to call code enforcement on them.
Well, Councilman, that is a perfect segue because you folks out there asked, and we heard you, we're answering some of your most commonly asked questions when it comes to development and how it affects you. Councilwoman Shondra Summers-Armstrong is passionate about getting answers out to you, so let's dig into this discussion. Joining us on the set is our Deputy Director of Community Development. He is Peter Lowenstein. Peter, welcome back to the show. You've been here before, and it's good to have you on again. It's been a while. Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it, David.
Well, Councilman, we talked about this, redevelopment, reinvestment in Ward 5, a lot of infill opportunity, and I know that is near and dear to you because there's opportunity there for people to come in and build a variety of projects.
Absolutely. Parts of Ward 5, the older areas, had been disinvested for many years. And so now there's an opportunity for people there's energy in the air, and people are curious. What can we do with empty land? What can I do with my current property? And so I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to get the word out so that people don't make missteps. Peter knows most of the rules by heart, and what
Yes,
he doesn't
does.
know, he can certainly find out and share that. And his team is really here to assist.
Absolutely.
And so we want him to share this data with folks, and we hope that people will comply, and so that we can have development that is cohesive in our communities, that doesn't offend your neighbors, but certainly brings up property values, as well as just bring new life into the community.
Well, Peter, that's a really good place to begin. Give us kind of a sense, where are we in the whole development process in Ward 5? It's a lot of things going on, a lot of things cooking, a lot of different projects scattered out throughout the ward. Talk about that a little bit. Kind of give us a sense of where are we currently?
So Ward 5 is very dynamic. It covers a large area, as you showed on the map. Those areas include anything from the urban core all the way up into our rural preservation areas up in the northwest. So you have high-rise condominium development down here, as well as casinos and hotels. You have commercial of all different sizes, from big box retail to standalone pad sites and office complexes. And then residential is a wide variety of different lot sizes, from those large estates up in the more so in the northwest and some down here in the urban core, to multifamily development where you get apartment complex in different plexes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I guess the target groups that you generally deal with, of course, are going to be homeowners, developers, then business owners. And Councilwoman, I know you're interested in all of those groups,
all of it,
having an easy time to get their projects on wheels and underway.
Absolutely. So we have a number of projects that are underway, like Peter said, high rises, all the way to additions to single family homes. We note that often the businesses or large developers have people to assist them in the development process. It is when we have homeowners who want to make additions or would like to build a casita or an ADU on their property where it gets a little bit sticky. And we don't want to hinder anyone, and we don't want their process to slow down.
So talk a little bit about that. What are some great tips, especially for homeowners, as Councilwoman is mentioning, trying to make an addition to their property, make a change. What's your advice on getting started?
So first and foremost, I would call. If you don't know, just reach out. We have available people all the time, either on the building permit side or on our land use side, to help guide you on, where can something be placed on the property? How big can it be? How tall can it be? Can I attach this to the front, to the back, to the side? What will I need to move that progress forward? Such as, do I need a building permit? Okay, if I do, what kind of drawings do I need? Do I need a design professional? Can I do this myself?
Right.
All of those questions we can help out with. I would say definitely call before when you have your idea of what you want to do, call.
That's probably one of the most common mistakes that people make, is they proceed without checking with the city first. I know you deal with that almost every council meeting. There's someone that's coming before asking for forgiveness after the fact.
The other part of that is, if you do need a building permit, I would then consult with somebody that you trust. Always trust, but verify as well. So I would still call, see what the full scope of your project is going to be, and then work with somebody that you trust as a design professional if you need one for that. If you're doing it on your own, then just get the proper information and we'll help you through with all the different steps.
Councilwoman, it sounds a little scary when you think about the whole process, but I think what the message you're trying to get across is, at the City of Las Vegas, we're trying to make this as simple as possible, but we don't want you to do anything that's going to create a problem for yourself or your neighbors.
Absolutely. And I think people need to really understand that sometimes things get built that have a public safety element to it. And if it's not properly licensed or permitted, we don't want you to have to tear it down. And we don't want to cost our neighbors money. We don't want to cost them inconvenience. And so I'm just encouraging people that step one is, please call the planning department. Let them know what it is you want to do.
Peter, talk about what are the most commonly asked questions when people are going through the process. What do you hear the most from the citizens out there that are trying to get these projects underway, whether they be homeowners or business owners or whatever?
So there's a little bit difference between the business owners and the homeowners. On the homeowner side of it, it's usually starting out like, I want to put a patio cover on. What do I need? How far can it be from a property line? Right. And depending on where you live, those development standards change. And so it's important to know what those are before you start the project. So most of them have been, I want to put in a structure, may it be a garage, a casita, or some other standalone, maybe an accessory dwelling unit like the Councilwoman mentioned. Where can they be on the property? And for certain instances, are there any conditions or something that need to be met by our local codes that the homeowner will have to comply with? And sometimes those would even mean having to go before Planning Commission for a land use entitlement. Our accessory dwelling units would be one of those instances where if you have a casita with a kitchen, something like that, you would then be coming before Planning Commission. As far as business owners, they're usually calling and say, hey, can I do this here? And we'll look at the site and tell them. And then it also has the same kind of things. So some of them are just permitted, some have conditions, and some might need an entitlement, such as a special use permit.
And Peter, we talk about this at the city all the time. We want to be developer-friendly, business-friendly, make this as smooth as possible. But by the same token, we don't want to do it so haphazardly that it creates a danger for the public or a nuisance too. So, that's really that balance that your department is always trying to keep, right?
There's a lot of legwork that can be done prior to reaching out to us, but as said before, we're always here to help out, so feel free to call, and if we don't have the answer, we'll find out where it is.
We've got about 2 minutes left, Peter. Let me ask you this. Commonly asked questions, we touched on this. Answer a couple commonly asked questions for folks that are, it's like, I dive into that and maybe we'll try to answer those for them before they even make that first call.
Well, usually on somebody who's putting a shed in their backyard. So do I need a building permit for a shed? Sheds of a certain size don't require a building permit, but they would require to be a certain distance off of a property line. So you have to know what that distance is before you buy a pre-made tough shed or something like that. So that's a common one. Room additions, on somebody's house, if they want to expand the size of the house, it has to have interior access. Can't be a separate dwelling unit put onto a single home.
It has to connect, and you have to be able to walk through the house to get there. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just a room addition. For business owners, it's usually, can I do this use in a particular zoning district? Most times the answer is yes. Some uses are unique, right? There are new markets that show up, and everybody has new ideas and how to make it in today's economy. So those take a little bit more time, but the more description we have, that helps us get you in the right direction.
All right, very good. Well, Peter, appreciate it. Councilwoman, we have about a minute left. I'll give you the final word on this subject. I know this is something you're very passionate about because we want to get it right. We want to let people know we're serious about getting it right and making it as easy as we can without making it unsafe.
Absolutely. And I just want to encourage people to follow the process again. This is not just affecting you as a landowner, but it affects your neighbor, right? And so part of building community is showing respect for those who live to our side, to our back, and to our front. And we want to make sure that we are taking into consideration what we want, but also being respectful to our neighbor. And so we want a cohesive and welcoming community. We also want to grow it and build it, and needs change over time. Oftentimes, for those of us who have aging parents, you may need to build a space for them, right? And make sure that they are nearby where you can watch and care for them. But we don't want you building it against the wall to your neighbor, and then your neighbor is all upset, and then we've got infighting. We don't want the Hatfields and McCoys here in Las Vegas. So let's just follow the process. The team is here to help you, and I'm really excited for what's to come.
All right. Well, very good. Peter Lowenstein, Deputy Director of Community Development, thank you so much for being on the program. We'll have to have you back. It's been years. We'll have to get you back sooner. But thank you. Folks, the message here is if you have questions, reach out to the city. Everyone here on the community development side will be here to try to answer your questions and get your project underway. So, Peter Lowenstein, thank you so much. Councilwoman, stick around. We need to take a quick break, but coming up, I'll look back at what's been happening in Ward 5, plus some great events that are coming up. It's right after this.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking all things Ward 5 with Councilwoman Shondra Summers-Armstrong. A lot of stuff took place between now and the last time you were on the show. My goodness. A couple of these big projects have to do with providing more housing in our community, which is something, it's crisis out there right now. People can't find places to live, especially that are affordable. You broke ground on quite the project back on March 12th. Tell us about this.
So exciting. So the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority, in partnership with the Michael Foundation, is building the Duncan Edwards development. It is going to be 80 apartments, various sizes, 1 through 4 bedrooms. They're going to have a community center and all kinds of beautiful amenities. We are so excited that this is going to be truly an affordable housing development. It's going to be lovely. It's in the north end of Ward 5. We are super excited about this.
That's a rendition of it.
That is a rendition.
Very
it's
nice.
Beautiful. And Mayor Berkeley was there. Councilwoman Brune was there as well because she's on the Southern Nevada Regional Housing. Just exciting that people our organizations in the community are making moves to make sure that our neighbors have affordable places to live.
You know, Councilwoman, I think sometimes people have this connotation, if it's affordable, it's not going to be very nice. That looks really nice.
It is beautiful. They have bicycle racks and like I said, a community center. It is going to be top notch. And that's one of the things that was mentioned in the speaking that went on that day, is that affordable housing should reflect, to the best of our ability, what other folks are getting as amenities in the community. And we don't want it to be substandard. We want it to be at a standard that is welcoming to anybody. And so we're excited about this.
And we talk about affordable housing. We're talking about, you know, first-year teachers, first-year police officers, firefighters. these are the folks that are going to be living in these kinds of places.
And absolutely.
Yeah, so,
and we have to recognize that our teachers and our substitute teachers and the barista at your local coffee shop, these folks are going to work every single day trying to provide for their families and just cannot afford $3,000, $4,000 a month in rent, and then be able to, if they can even pay that, and then be able to feed their families and make sure they have a vehicle that gets them to work. So this is the regular people, and we are excited for this.
That's good stuff. Well, then, Councilwoman, on March 28th, another event related to affordable housing, the Faith Leaders Development Summit. Now, that took place here at City Hall, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Tell us about this event.
Well, we had this summit in the Now Cafe right here on campus. I have been involved in some way or another trying to encourage development on infill land. And we know that in most of Ward 5, whether you are in the north at Rancho Drive, where we have Advent United Methodist Church, all the way down into historic West Las Vegas, churches own land. And what I've done is ask them to come together, which they did in numbers that we were so surprised.
That's really smart.
And sit down and talk about what can be. We invited a national organization called Enterprise to speak to them. That was the very first presentation. Enterprise has been around for like 30 or 40 years. They know how to deal with faith-based organizations. They do funding and training. And then we had local developers and people from the city of Las Vegas also attended to sort of break ground and help people get knowledge on what can faith leaders and their congregations do to help address things like the lack of affordable housing and all kinds of other community spaces that we need. So my heart was full. I think I cried my eyelashes off. It was just wonderful. And we are looking forward to the next steps, which we hope will be a cohort of training and is anything that we can do to encourage folks to feel comfortable and become knowledgeable in the process. They can choose what they want to do, but here we are trying to provide the space for them to do it.
Yeah, and again, affordable housing period is at a real, it's hard to find. Let me just say it frankly, it's hard to find in Las Vegas, especially with things that are within people's price range.
That's correct.
And so what we want to do is kind of pave that road for them, make it a little bit easier, and that's another major step forward. Getting everybody talking about your infill projects out there. It's that vacant land. What can we put there that would ease this problem?
Absolutely, and I think that faith leaders of whatever religion recognize that they're part of what they do in the community is to help, and this is the first step in gaining the knowledge on and choosing how they want to present.
That's excellent. That's really good. And then, Councilwoman, shifting gears a little bit, back on Wednesday, April 2nd, you were part of the Journey Forward for Autism. Now, talk about that a little bit. What was that event?
So there's an organization, Journey Forward for Autism. They've opened right off of Rainbow and Cheyenne and right behind the Wendy's. They have a program where they work with parents and families from age 1 or less all the way up to like 21 or 22 years old to help families navigate how to get the best for their children that have autism. It was so amazing. It was full. There were families all over the place. The jazz band from Palo Verde was out there,
nice.
Rocking and rolling out there in the parking lot. And what they're doing is helping families navigate when they have children with autism, and not just K through 5 or 8. But we're helping families with their older children as well gain job skills, interpersonal skills, teaching them how to work and be independent, sweeping, mopping, making your bed, how to have interpersonal, how to read people's emotions when they're talking. It was just wonderful, and we are really glad to be there to support. This is what we need. This is what makes community. We have, differently abled folks, and I think that it is important that we put the spotlight on and encourage and support organizations that are helping our community.
Well, that's awesome. I know a little bit about this. I have a nephew who is on the spectrum, has autism, and being able to create an environment to where they can be independent. He holds a job now. He's in his 20s now, and thanks to organizations like this, he's doing just fine.
Right.
And when he was a little kid, it was a different story.
Right.
He was nonverbal, and you wondered what would the road look like for him. Well, organizations like this help make big impacts in not only in those who have autism, but in their families' lives as well. So.
And the lady who runs this organization was very clear about that we as parents will not be here forever. Mm-hmm. And so we've got to prepare our children. And what I loved about it, and I talked about this all the time, is unsiloing. Mm-hmm. So they are working with other organizations and the school district to make sure that they are in collaboration so that the kids are getting all the help they need wherever they are. And I was just extremely happy to be there.
Kudos to them and kudos to you for making it happen. It really does make a huge difference in people's lives, folks. So that's tremendous, Councilwoman. And Quiet Storm Foundation, you worked with them April 3rd. That was a busy week for you. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, you had something going every day.
It's been a lot, but we are enjoying ourselves. So first, the young people who participated in the essay contest came to City Hall, and they were in my office, and we had a little chat. We gave them a tour around City Hall. They got to come into the studios here and have fun. Your staff was amazing. The parents were so excited. And so they had their awards banquet where each of the students who were winners in their category got to do oration and say their speech, and talk about diversity, cultural diversity, and get all their awards. And they were feted, and their parents were all excited and proud. You could hear grandmas and moms saying, "That's my baby." It was so wonderful. I got to say a few words. This is just a wonderful organization. This is C.J. Watson, who is a young man from the community.
We've heard of him.
Yes, you've heard a few things about him. Went on to play in the NBA and came back to the community, and this is his organization with his family, and they did a wonderful job. Luncheon was wonderful. The kids were excited. And these are the things, in my opinion, that we need to do to encourage our children to step out and be bold and brave and follow their dreams. And I think these kids got a big rocket boost.
Oh, that's excellent. And Councilwoman, you also had the Native Son Spelling Bee. That took place on the 5th, April 5th. And tell us about that.
Well, I got a call from Reverend Kelsey West to ask me to give the opening remarks at the Native Son Spelling Bee. This event has been around for probably 10 years or so. The Native Son bookstore was in our community for many years. And Sam Smith started this, and after he passed on, a group of community members took it on and are continuing it. There were like 40 third and fourth graders on the stage, ready to work and spell their words that they were given. I mean, it looked just like the spelling bees that you see on television.
Oh, nice.
They read the word and could you put it in a sentence? And all of that. It was amazing. We were in the audience getting nervous.
Yeah, it's like, can I spell that word?
Exactly, and nervous for the kids. But they did a great job. We had winners in several categories, and the young people received cash prizes.
Nice.
So we want to encourage parents to please enter your children in the spelling bee if it's offered at your school, and if it isn't, encourage the principal to reach out so that your kids can get involved in this. Such an encouraging event, and the theater at West Las Vegas Theater, Library Theater, was packed front to back.
I don't doubt it.
And it was just an amazing event.
All right, Councilwoman, we're running low on time here, but let's talk about Praise in the Park too. Now, that was also on April 5th, that Saturday, April 5th. What was Praise in the Park?
So Aaron Arrington and Facebook Chorale had a wonderful event in the park. I had a few words at the beginning. They were singing praises, lots of gospel music. They tore it up out there.
Yeah.
So they do this annually. It was at the Las Vegas, historic West Las Vegas Park. Legacy Park, it was wonderful.
We're going to talk about that in a couple minutes,
Yes,
too.
sir.
And then last but not least of the past events, Chase McCurdy had a pop-up exhibit, a great artist here in town. This was on Friday, April 4th. It was called Glimpses. So what was the glimpse of?
So he showed us glimpses of his work, his practice. It was amazing. Folks, I felt like I was in New York, like I was hip and cool in San Francisco or something like that. A beautiful turnout, people from the community and the art community, which is growing and burgeoning here. And he showed us some of his works, and there was a question and answer with the artist that was done as well. It was amazing. So just know that things are happening here in West Las Vegas and in Ward 5. His studio was called 33G. It's right off of Owens. The event is still open through May 1st. So you can go
check it out
and see what he has done. Folks, you would be so proud. Another native of Las Vegas.
That's right. And he's good. I promise you that. Councilwoman, you have some upcoming events, and I know we're running low on time here, but I want to tell everybody about this. Legacy Park, April 19th. We're going to find out who the new inductees are. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's Willa Mae Cheney, who was passed on, Porter Lee Troutman, Eva Martin, Beatrice Dias, and Faith Leggett will be inducted in the park this year. Please know, folks, that applications are open now for next year. It's going to be an amazing event. Please come out and support these families and enjoy beautiful historic West Side Legacy Park. It's going to be wonderful.
8:30 to 10:30 on April 19th. And then also, Councilwoman, on April 26th, the following Saturday, you have an Earth Day event. It's going to take place at Children's Memorial Park from 10 to 2.
Yes, we'll be planting trees and cleaning up. What better way to celebrate Earth Day and Arbor Day by making sure that our environment is improved as much as possible, greening up, cooling off our atmosphere. And Children's Memorial is a beautiful park. And so please come and see what's available in green space in Ward 5.
Exactly. We'll provide the trees, we'll provide the shovels and all of that. Just bring the elbow grease. That's all we need.
Absolutely.
And then, Councilwoman, last but not least, real quick, Parks and Rec, we want people to visit the website for West Las Vegas Art Center summer camps and lifeguard training and other info on our offerings through the summer.
Absolutely. Parks and Recs is busy, but those of you with children or young teens, young adults who are looking for summer work, this is the place to be. Please go there and sign up and look to see what's available. We want our young people busy in the summer, either working or involved in the arts and culture.
Here. Well done. Councilwoman, that was a lot.
I know.
I'm afraid we have to tell everybody goodbye out there because we've filled this show up. But we want to say, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Shondra Summers-Armstrong, you can always contact her. The number is 702-229-5443 or send her an email at ward5@lasvegasnevada.gov. And her staff will get right back to you. Pleasure having you on the program. We did good today. That was a lot of stuff.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here. It's wonderful to talk to folks and just know that we are hard at work here in Ward 5.
Clearly.
Yes, sir.
So, looking forward to having you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 5. In the meantime, folks, please don't miss our next show beginning on April 24th with Councilman and Mayor Pro Tem Brian Knudsen. City of Las Vegas TV is streaming. You can catch all of our shows on YouTube at City of Las Vegas TV. You can also watch online at lasvegasnevada.gov/connect. And check out our newsletter. You can subscribe by simply scanning the QR code in the credits at the end of this show. We want to thank you for watching, everybody. Until we see you next time around, thanks for joining us.